Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Art of Writing by Ghost Guy. I'm after a suggestion from Sir Crumpets, my friend and somewhat my boss. He told me to kind of come across a little bit more me when I'm talking on these streams, which cool, whatever. So I have no notes for tonight. But we're talking about plot, episode 3. That's our big shabam today. Um, Transition this over. Uh, so all plot is your story. That's all it is. I pulled up probably the top 7 plots that are commonly used nowadays. Um, that's not that big of a deal, but just looking at these, you can very clearly see, like, here you're gonna have Superman v Batman. Very easy one. Character versus society, you're gonna have something along the lines of 1980 84. Wow. Character versus nature, you're gonna have Hatchet. If I could spell. Character versus technology. This is going to be 2001 Space Odyssey. And we can't spell Odyssey. I think I need another S in here. Character versus fate. Yeah, there it is. This is where... Honestly, this is a great question. Oh, I got it. Star Wars. Anakin. Probably spelled his. Oh, there it is. Aha. Character versus supernatural. This is the whole plot series of Supernatural. And then character versus self. This is going to be I gotta think of Fight Club. So each of these is just a really quick example of each. Some of them are movies, some of them are books. Honestly, if you go and watch any of these or read any of them, you'll completely understand what we're getting at here. It's the plot is your character versus something else. That's going to be your conflict. It has to be your protagonist versus something. If you know what that thing is supposed to be, it makes it a lot easier to build around that framework. But the next topic I'm going to go over is the hero's journey. This thing. If you've gone to school in the past 20 years, you've already seen this. This is something that when I was younger, I saw and was like, that makes a lot of sense. And then you grow up and you see it everywhere. And when I say everywhere, it is absolutely everywhere. Because this is what they're teaching in schools for writing. This is how you write a story. It's the 3-act story, which is very reminiscent of Shakespeare's and Greek, the 3-act play. So you have what your character's doing in the beginning, the 2nd act, and then the 3rd act. 1st act should be your setup. That's where you learn all of your characters and they start interacting or doing whatever your character's doing at the time. Act 2 is going to be the entirety of your main plot. Act ending with the crossing the Death of Dreams, Dark of Night. This is this is where everything goes bad. And then this is where you wrap. Act 3 is the wrap-up section, where you, in turn, instead of, this is where you wrap everything up and change everything. Problem is this is so good that nobody has decided to try and change it since, which is kind of a problem. But there are many other heroes' journeys that we can look at, and going forward we might make a separate video on that, but pretty much you can find this online anywhere. I can go over the different points real quick. Call of Adventure, or that's going to be the idea of, hey, your character's getting pulled out of something. Let's look at the original Star Wars. Perfect example. The call to adventure is Luke finding R2-D2. Meeting the mentor is meeting Ben Kenobi. Road of Trials, that's when they get onto the Death Star. And then this whole section here is going to be your exploration of the Death Star, elixir theft, which is absolutely saving Princess Leia. I believe at one point in here, second threshold, which is, this is when Ben Kenobi dies. Then he is completely a part of the rebellion now. Rescue from without. This is when the Death Star is going to blow up Alderaan. No, that's after Alderaan. That's when they're going to blow up Yavin 4. Showdown, climax, that's when they shoot the missile into the thing. They get their medals and wrap everything up. And then they go on with their lives. That is, hands down, the hero's journey. It's really simple, really easy. Plot. Plot can be whatever you want it to be. There's no rules. Absolutely no rules. The truth of it is that if you want samurais to be in space, do it. But what's driving them? Is it a man out of time aspect, where they're samurais with swords fighting against guys with laser rifles? Because they're going to lose. And they're going to lose a lot. The whole part of plot is to tell the story. This is going to be your... How the hero journey says there are 4 plot points to hit in a single... Sorry, I can't read. There are 4 plot points to hit, and that's a good rule of thumb. You have to hit 4 things before you can wrap up the story. Honestly, it works. It truly does. Because at a certain point, if you write too much, your audience is going to get bored. If you write too little, they're going to be longing for more. But the other thing that we need to talk about with the truth on plot is plot holes. Plot holes are, 1, help you, and 2, hurt you. Sometimes plot holes will save you. Like, why does magic work the way it does? You don't have to tell people that. Knowing versus not knowing. That's a key point of writing, is you don't have to explain everything to your audience. And that's okay. They're expecting to come in and learn. And sometimes it's just cool. Hey, man, that wizard shoots fireballs. Do I need to know how magic works to know that Herkel Durkel Jenkinson shoots fireballs? No, not really. I just want to see a Hercule Durkle Jenkinson shoot fireballs. And then how to fix your plot. If you're already writing, stop. Build a plan. Probably the best thing I can do is I can pull up this. Oh, nope, I don't have it here. So I've been writing a little bit, and I broke it down like this. So I wish I could just figure out how to. 18. Thank you. So, 1, and I just went through and wrote the chapter names, which was New Heroes, is how I started it. I believe second chapter was... Actually, I'll pull it up on my phone and show you. I can't really show you, but I can at least just type it out here. If I can find the notepad on my... If I can find the notepad on my phone. I really hate technology. New Heroes, here we go. New Heroes. Second was Wolf in sheep's clothing. Then it was the man, monster, and the doctor. 4 was vampire at the masquerade, siege of Eden, tomb of heroes. Spelled that wrong again. Maybe I didn't. But basically, I went through. So this is 6 of them. Each, and I'm going to phrase each of these as a chapter. So if you just look at the title of the chapter, you have a general idea of what you're looking at. So if you take these and go, okay, that's the title. So now how we did for setting, we wrote the 1 sentence or 1 to 2 sentences describing your story. Here, now you're going to go through and go, hey, so New Heroes is sentence or 2. I would probably do more like a small paragraph, so 4 sentences on each one, just going over what's going on in this chapter. Because that really helps you drive the plot. Now, this one's a little bit different, because how I'm writing it is not a straight from point A to point B plot. I'm writing a bunch of short stories and then putting them together to tell a story, a larger story. That's the idea of what we're going for. That's a great idea to start writing, is start small. Write a page. Write some fan fiction. But be respectful to what you're writing about if you're writing fan fiction. Don't change the world, just have fun. So, I believe that is everything I had for plot today. Next week, I'm going to... Point of view is going a little bit further. We're going to move on to the antagonist next week. And, yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I'll check back with you guys in a bit. Bye-bye now.